everyday English podcast.
By English Talking Today.
Hello, and welcome back to English Talking Today. I'm William, and today I want to talk about something that is a huge problem for so many people who are learning English. You know that feeling, right? You've studied for years. You can read complicated articles and write decent emails, but when it's time to speak, your mind just freezes. You know the words, but they just don't come out. Or they come out slowly, and you're always pausing, trying to translate a sentence from your own language into English. Well, that's exactly what we're going to tackle today. We're going to talk about how to train your brain to think in English more, because that is the real secret to fluency. It's not about how many words you know, it's about how quickly you can access them and use them without that constant back and forth translation in your head. So, why is thinking in English so important anyway? Let's break it down. The first and most obvious reason is fluency and speed. When you stop translating, you stop that mental traffic jam. Your brain can just go straight from the idea to the English words. This means you can speak faster, more smoothly, and with fewer pauses. Imagine having a conversation with a native speaker. They're talking at a natural pace, and you're trying to keep up while your brain is also trying to translate what they're saying and then translate your own reply. It's exhausting, and it makes you feel slow. But when you think in English, you're on the same playing field. Second, thinking in English builds confidence. When you know that you can form a sentence directly, without that awkward pause to translate, you feel more relaxed and in control. This confidence lets you enjoy conversations more instead of being stressed about them. Think about it. When you're speaking English and a sentence just pops into your head without any effort, you feel a little victory. These small victories build up and make you feel much more comfortable in the language. Another huge benefit is better understanding of what you hear. When you listen to a podcast like this, or watch a movie, or listen to a song, your brain has to process the sounds and turn them into meaning. If your brain is used to only translating, it has to do a double job. First understanding the English and then translating it. This is why a lot of learners struggle to understand fast-spoken English. Their brains just can't keep up. But when you train your brain to think in English, you start to understand the words and phrases directly, without the middle step. This makes it so much easier to follow what's happening. Finally, thinking in English leads to faster learning. When you learn a new word and start using it directly in English thoughts, your brain creates a stronger connection to that word. It's like you're creating a little pathway just for English. The word becomes part of your active vocabulary, not just a passive piece of information you recognize on a test. For example, let's say you learn the word ponder, which means to think deeply about something. Instead of thinking, okay, how do I translate ponder into my language? You start thinking, I need to ponder this question before I give an answer. See? It just becomes a natural part of your thought process. Now, let's talk about some of the common problems people face when they're trying to make this shift. The first and most obvious one is constant translating. This is the habit you need to break. Every time you have an idea, your brain automatically goes to your native language first. This is a tough habit to change, but it's the one that's holding you back the most. The second problem is running out of words. Have you ever been in the middle of a sentence and just stopped? Your mind went blank? This isn't because you don't know the words. It's because your brain isn't used to accessing them quickly in English. It's like a filing cabinet with all the files in the wrong place. The words are there, but you can't find them in time. Next, there's confusion. Trying to construct a perfect, complex sentence in your head before you even say it can lead to a lot of confusion. You're trying to get the grammar exactly right, the vocabulary perfect, and by the time you've done all that mental work, the moment is gone. This is where a lot of people feel stuck. Another big one is the fear of making mistakes. We all have it. We're afraid of bad grammar or saying the wrong word. This fear can freeze your brain. You start overthinking everything, and that prevents you from just trying. You might have the phrase, "I'm going to the store," in your head, but then you think, wait, is it to the store or at the store? And you get stuck. You're so focused on being perfect that you don't even try. And lastly, a common problem is lack of vocabulary. If you don't have enough words to express your ideas, you'll naturally revert to your native language. This is why you need to be constantly learning and practicing new words. It's like having the right tools for a job. If you don't have a hammer, you can't pound a nail. If you don't have the word, you can't express the idea. For example, you might be thinking, "I feel sad today," but you also want to say, "I feel sad because of the bad weather." If you don't know the word gloomy to describe the weather, you might just get stuck and say it in your own language. Learning that one word, gloomy, helps you express a more complex idea in English directly. All right, so how do we fix this? Let's get to the good stuff. It's not magic, it's a habit. It takes consistency and patience. So let's talk about some practical steps and a daily routine you can start right now. First off, start simple. Don't try to write a whole novel in your head. Just start with single words. As you look around your room, think chair, table, lamp. Then move to simple sentences. This is a book. I am sitting on a chair. These are small, easy victories that will build your confidence. Next, try to change your daily thoughts into English. When you wake up, instead of thinking, "I'm hungry," think, "I am hungry." When you feel hot, think, "It is hot today." These are the small thoughts that happen hundreds of times a day. Every single one is an opportunity to practice. You can also narrate your actions. What are you doing right now? Maybe you're walking. Think, "I am walking to the kitchen." Maybe you're cutting vegetables. Think, "I am cutting vegetables for lunch." This is a great way to use action verbs and connect them to real life. The next step is to describe your surroundings. Look around you. What do you see? Practice saying it in English. The sky is blue. The buildings are tall. There are many cars on the street. This helps you use descriptive words and practice sentence structure. Another great exercise is to ask yourself questions throughout the day and answer them in English. What time is it? It is 3 o'clock. How do I feel? I feel a little tired. This simulates a real conversation and trains your brain to quickly formulate questions and answers. You should also try self-talk. This might sound a little weird, but it's incredibly effective. Practice speaking to yourself in English, even in front of a mirror. You can talk about your day, your plans, or just a random topic. For example, you could look in the mirror and say, "Okay, William, you've got a busy day ahead. You have to record the podcast, then go to the store, and then call your friend." This is a perfect, zero-pressure way to practice speaking. To really get your brain in the zone, surround yourself with English. Listen to English music and podcasts. Watch English movies with English subtitles. Read English books or articles. The more you immerse yourself, the more your brain will naturally start to process information in English. Your brain is a muscle. You need to train it. Now, let's create a little daily routine. You can adapt this to your own life. but here's a good starting point. In the morning, as soon as you wake up, spend the first 5 minutes just thinking in English. What are you going to wear? What do you want for breakfast? Try to have these simple thoughts in English. During the day, whenever you have a small thought, like, this coffee is good, or I need to remember to buy milk, try to say it in English in your head. You don't have to do it perfectly every time. Just try. And in the evening, before you go to bed, take 5 to 10 minutes to reflect on your day in English. What did you do? How did you feel? What did you learn? You can also start a journal. Writing down your thoughts in English, even for just a few minutes, is a powerful way to practice. It makes you slow down and think about word choice and sentence structure. For example, instead of just thinking, I was tired, you can write in your journal, I was a little exhausted after work today because I had to handle a difficult project. I'm looking forward to a relaxing evening. This kind of reflection forces you to use more descriptive and complex language. Remember, this is not a race. You're not going to be perfect overnight. There will be days when you forget, or you're too tired, or your brain just defaults to your native language. That's okay. Just start again the next day. The key is patience and consistency. Small, regular steps will lead to big results over time. Think of it like a path you're creating in a forest. At first, the path is hard to see and hard to walk on. But the more you walk it, the clearer and easier it becomes. Thinking in English is the same. The more you do it, the more automatic and natural it will become. It's a habit, not a magic trick. So, your challenge for this week is to start with one of these steps. Maybe it's just narrating your actions for 5 minutes a day. Or maybe it's thinking in English for the first few minutes after you wake up. Just one small thing to get started. Don't overwhelm yourself. And remember, every small thought you have in English is a step toward fluency. You can do this. I know you can. Thank you so much for joining me on English Talking today. If you found this episode helpful, please like and subscribe and leave a comment below telling me which of these steps you're going to try first. Your feedback means a lot. I'll see you in the next episode.